Hey, what is going on? How are you guys? In this video, we're going to be talking about how you can make this amazing effect. And yeah, as you guys can see, just like a very, well, not a very simple photo manipulation, but you will learn how to do it. It's going to be amazing and it's going to help you a lot to spread your creativity as a graphic designer. So before we start, I just want to ask you one question. Did you subscribe? Yes, please hit that subscribe button, and also do not forget to turn on the bell notification so you can get all the videos that I'm uploading in the upcoming weeks. I'm planning to upload 2 or 3 more videos weekly, so you guys can actually get a lot of benefit out of this. You will actually love this a lot. Thank you guys, and let's jump into the video. So once you are on computer, the first thing you're going to do is for sure open up Photoshop, and we got it up in here, and then you will start by importing the jungle and the road photo, as you guys can see, and you will find all these files in the description ready for you to use it. Okay, once you have imported your jungle photo or the photo of the road, as you guys can see, the first thing you want to do is you want to actually turn off this lock. You can do this by clicking on the lock itself if you are using Photoshop CC, or if you're using Photoshop C6, the way you're going to do it is just double clicking this layer to get rid of this lock. Now the second thing you want to do is you want to go here and import the ocean background, as you guys can see here, and then hit Alt on your keyboard and start enlarging it, as you guys can see here. And yeah, just fill the background with it, as you guys can see. And then we're going to go on the ocean background, right click and go to rasterize layer, and then add an inverted layer mask by pressing Alt on your keyboard and on the layer mask, as you guys can see. That will make our inverted layer mask. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to change this to white by pressing X on your keyboard, and then we're going to start by brushing the areas. Make sure you are on the brush tool. Just press B for the brush tool so you can actually start brushing the areas that we don't want, as you guys can see. Just make it like this, just like that. Erase the parts that we don't need. Hit X to change to the black so you can start erasing the areas that you don't want. So X will black will erase and white will add pixels to the photo. Now after you do this and everything is ready, now we're gonna go to the ocean layer, and then we're gonna change the layer mode to soft light, as you guys can see here. Just simple and pretty easy. Okay, so now we're gonna add a hue saturation adjustment layer, and then we're gonna go to the hue saturation, make sure it's on colorize, and make sure just hit this one. So it's going to create a clipping mask for us, or you just can go into hit Alt on your keyboard and just click on on the line between the 2 layers, so it makes this clipping mask for you. Now we're going to go to the hue saturation, make sure it's 39 for the hue, 12 for the saturation, and the light is going to be on 7. This is actually I wrote it into a a notepad so I don't forget what how does it go for you. Now we're going to add a new adjustment layer, and this adjustment layer is going to be about the curves. I'm going to add 2 points here. The first point here is going to be 179 and 200 for the output. So the input is 179 and the 200 for the output, and this one is going to be 89 and 62 for the output, as you guys can see. And also make sure it's a clipping mask and it's added into the ocean photo, as you guys can see. Okay, and now we're going to add a brightness and contrast layer adjustment layer as well. Make sure you hit that clipping mask so it's only on the ocean area, as you guys can see. Now we're going to hit and go to my secret notepad so we can actually know exactly what we're going to put. So for the brightness, we're going to have -11 like this, and 32 for the contrast, until it goes something like this. That's before and that's after. Kind of realistic here, as you guys can see. And now it's time to add the most interesting part, which is the guy in the skateboard or whatever the board that he's actually using. So we're gonna go here into the file, and then we're gonna drag and drop the man just right into our canvas, just like that. And then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna go right click and rasterize the layer. And now it's time to make our amazing photo of this guy. So we're gonna just Control T on your keyboard and start enlarging it a little bit. As you guys can see, that's actually almost good. Make it a little bit hit shift and just make it a little bit wider. So, kind of creates a little bit of displacement, as you guys can see. And now hit Control T again, right click, and we're gonna go on perspective, and we're gonna make something amazing here, as you guys can see. Now the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna go to the top right corner, and we're gonna just drag to the right, as you guys at the top left corner, and we're gonna drag to the right, as you guys can see here. Okay, I'm gonna drag it just right down there, as you guys can see. And we don't want the guy now. Once we go to the guy, I'll tell you what to do exactly. And then we're gonna go to the bottom right corner, and we're gonna just drag to the left, as you guys can see. It just helps us create this area of the the waves that he actually does once he goes right there. And this is kind of good. Yeah, this is actually awesome. You're just gonna play around until it goes something like this. Until actually this, what I want by doing this exactly is I want this area to be visible, because that's the area that's we're gonna make in this part. Now we're gonna hit enter. Same thing. We're gonna go add a layer mask on it like this, just a normal layer mask, as you guys can see. And then we're gonna grab our black color, press X on your keyboard so we can get our black color, and then press B on your keyboard so we get this brush. And then we're gonna just get this wave area here only. That's the part that we're gonna need. So we're gonna erase everything but not the guy. Everything. Also, we're gonna erase the guy. Everything except the first initial wave that he does here. Oh shit, I'm on the brush. Yeah, make sure you have selected the mask before you do anything, because if you don't do this, you will actually end up brushing the areas, as you guys can see here. So we're gonna go select the mask and make sure it's black, and then we're gonna start erasing, as you guys can see, using the brush tool. Now we're gonna hit V on your keyboard so we can actually adjust the placement of it like that, and make it a little bit large like this. And I'm actually satisfied with this. Now erase the areas that we don't actually need here. Actually, I want some of this parts with us. Some of these parts with us here, as you guys can see. And that's actually almost perfect. Okay, now we're gonna add a new and actually we're gonna just duplicate the layer itself, and then we're gonna delete, go to the mask, right click and delete the mask, as you guys can see. And then we're gonna do the same thing again, but this time we're gonna make it a little bit smaller here, and we're gonna make sure the guy should be in the same place, but the photo itself got to be a little bit narrow. Okay, and then we're gonna hit V on your keyboard, but that's what you want to do, and then get it a little bit down, and then right click, and then just go to the layer, add a mask, change the color to black, get your brush tool, and then we're gonna delete, we're gonna erase everything but not the man. So it goes something like this. Oh shit. Something like this. Okay, erase all these areas. Now we're gonna just make the brush a little bit smaller, get the areas that we don't want. Once you get closer to the guy here, you want to make sure it's detailed, and every part of the photo actually doesn't go like this. We want to have it as sharp as possible. So we're gonna get rid of the areas out there, as you guys can see. all the the areas around the guy, and then we're gonna hit Alt on your keyboard, right click, and start dragging upwards, so you can actually make the hardness 100, or you can just go here and increase the hardness. And what you want to do now is we're gonna go here and start erasing areas that we don't want around the guy himself here. So that's how it's going to look from when we zoom out a little bit. Okay, we want the areas of the man, just the right areas, at least the right areas like that, just sharp and visible. You can actually erase these, so it's not going to actually be seen as you might think. Okay, that's it. That's very nice. And then we're going to go back again and start erasing with a normal brush. Actually, we can also start getting rid of some of the areas here on the right and on the left as well. Now, same thing, increase the hardness, make it a little bit smaller. Exactly. You can make it smaller by pressing the brackets on your keyboard, so it looks something like this. Okay. So that's actually, that's good. I think this is very good. I'm gonna adjust again some of these areas like that. I can actually leave, this part as, some kind of the areas that the man does once he, go like this, just a little bit. I'm actually gonna lip these as well. Just keep increasing. Just play around until you find the best part to work with here. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. Yeah, this is amazing. So yeah, that's it. We've created the guy's part, and we can also get back to the previous mask, and we're gonna decrease the opacity here a little bit and the flow, and also we're gonna just make it just erase little areas from here so it doesn't look like it's so it kind of matches makes it kind of matches the normal ocean photo, so they are actually connected to each other here. So yeah, that's it. These are the areas of the the man. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna now start adding some hue and saturation above these. So we're gonna make the same colors of the ocean and the man, and and the water of the photo of the photo of the man, kind of the same. I'm gonna make them both the same. So yeah, as you guys can see, this is the area that we're working on. We just play around with it until it kind of matches the photo of of the water. Both of them should have the same water effects. And this time we're gonna reduce this one a little bit, make it just a little bit green, and something around here like that. Yeah, this is actually nice. And then this one as well, kind of greeny a little bit. Here, as you guys can see, and yeah, this is just perfect. Okay, I actually want to go here, make sure this is kind of black. So yeah, This is, for now, that's amazing. Now we're going to add some rain, make a new layer, and then we're going to go to filter. First, before we go to filter, make sure we have the color picker set to black, and then we're going to hit Alt Delete on your keyboard. And now what we're going to do is we're going to go to filter, and then noise, add noise. Okay, copy my settings, make sure it's 25, and the Gaussian and distribution is set to Gaussian, and monochromatic is also checked. Now we're going to hit OK on your keyboard. Then we're going to go to filter, blur, and we're going to go to motion blur. Okay, make sure the angle is set to -60 and the distance is set to 40. Okay, and that's it. We've created our rain. That's the rain we have here. And now we're going to go Control T on your keyboard, hit Alt, and enlarge the rain effect like that. Make it a little bit large, just the size that you want. This is actually fine. That's how it's going to look at the end. Once we do this, we're going to go here to normal, change it to screen, make sure you are on the layer of the rain. Now once you create your rain layer, what you want to do now is you're going to go to the adjustment layers, and we're going to add a layer, a leveled layer, as you guys can see here. And now what we're going to do is we're going to do we're going to copy these settings, as you guys can see. First one is going to be 30, this one 30, and the other one is 1.12 like this, and the last one I think is going to be 180 like that. And then we're gonna make sure it's on it like this by clicking on the layer mask here. So what this does, it's actually making the rain effect kind of realistic, as you guys can see here. As you guys can see, it's not realistic. It looks like some radial lines, as you guys can see, but after this effect, it makes it kind of look realistic, as you guys can see here. Now what we're gonna do is we're going to start adding our lights. But before adding our lights, what you want to do here is we're going to choose the first layer and the last one, and then we're going to hold shift and choose the last one, and then Control J on your keyboard just to make this like that. And then what you want to do is you hit Control Alt Shift and E on your keyboard just to make, what this does is going to make a layer with all, kind of like taking a screenshot and combining all the layers we have into one layer, as you guys can see here. Now what we want to do is we're going to go to the filter, and then we're going to go to the amazing camera roll filters, and now we're going to start adding some awesome effects to our photo. Okay, let's do this. We're going to play around with the temperature, make a little bit blue here, and the tint go a little bit to the right, as you guys can see. Now the exposure, they kind of increase the exposure a little bit here. And then the contrast, you want to increase the contrast, the highlights as well, we want to reduce the highlights a little bit. Shadows, reduce the shadows. Also the whites, gonna increase the whites a little bit, maybe the shadows also. Play around with it, as you guys can see, and if you want you can actually copy my settings at the end. Okay, the texture, we're going to increase the texture, and we're going to increase the clarity. Just just to see what's going to happen, as you guys can see here. And then we're going to go to the saturation. We're going to increase the saturation, as you guys can see here as well. The vibrance, as well as the vibrance as well. Now it looks kind of something like this. Yeah, I think this is pretty good. Now I'm going to play a little bit here with the whites, and boom, look at this. That's after all the effects. This is amazing. Now we're going to add our awesome lights, and then we're going to hit B, create a new layer, hit B on your keyboard, X, so we can have this white background, as you guys can see. And then we're going to go get closer here to these areas, light areas, and start, just adding lights, as you guys can see. But make sure the opacity is on 100, the flow is on 100, and boom, do this. Go like that. Do what I'm doing. I'm gonna go here as well. Same thing here. Like this. And also add some lights for the cars. One here, another one here, one here, another one just right here. So it looks something like this. Now what we want to do is we're gonna go to the mode and we're gonna set it to soft light. Now we're gonna go on the same layer, we're gonna duplicate it so it kind of looks like it's glowing here a little bit. Now what we're gonna also do is you're gonna go to the pen tool, press P on your keyboard, and then what we're gonna do is P on your keyboard and just go here. We're gonna actually recreate these parts, these kind of light bulbs and stuff. Just start selecting around it. Doesn't have to be perfect because this is not the focal point of the photo, so people are not gonna look at how detailed are these little light bulbs. Now we're gonna go right here. As you guys can see, just selecting like that, like this. Doesn't have to be perfect, as I told you. And if you want to just lock the final part, what you want to do is you hit Alt and click on the point itself, so until it looks something like this. Maybe just Control on your keyboard just to move one of the points and then close them right as you guys can see. Right click and then make selection, as you guys can see. And then what you want to do is you're gonna get Control J on your keyboard, just so we have a separate layer for this part. And what we forgot actually to turn off the layers. So after cutting the light, what you want to do is you want to go to the layer, just press V on your keyboard and just start moving it, as you guys can see. Now we're gonna add a new one here. Make sure it's kind of bigger than the one that's actually right there. It's not as big as this. And then we're gonna put it just right somewhere around here. Now what we're gonna do is add a layer mask on it, and now press X on your keyboard so it's black, and then we're gonna press X so it's black. Why doesn't actually does? Oh, okay. We're on the eraser. Now we want to do. You want to actually make sure you press B on your keyboard so you get the brush tool. So otherwise, it's not going to work, as you guys can see. And just erase the bottom area, as you guys can see here. Now, new layer. Press B on your keyboard and then go. Make sure it's on the center of the circle, and then one press on it or one click on it. Now we're gonna go to the mode and make it soft light as well. You can also duplicate this layer to make it kind of something like that. So as you guys can see, it looks kind of cool. Or actually I prefer leaving it like this and just giving it a little light here. This is nice. And now what you want to do is you're going to make a new layer. You're going to start adding some fog into the photo. Stuff like that. Here, here, here also. That's your fog areas. Now what you want to do is you're going to go to soft light. It's going to look something like this. And then decrease the lights a little bit. Also you can add some fog here. Also make some fog into these areas. So we also can do something. We can actually hit P on your keyboard, go right here, choose the, just to pick the road area or the water area. You guys can see, and then make selection, okay, and then hit Control G on your keyboard. So we only have this part. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go to filter, camera roll filter, and we're gonna actually turn this ocean into kind of a little bit of blue, so it actually matches the areas of the photo. Make a little bit of highlights and stuff, shadows, and yeah. That's actually way much better than before. What you can also do is you can turn this to screen. Well, no, just leave it as it is. And now, you can, a little bit, decrease the opacity a little bit, as you guys can see here. And yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm giving away a free color psychology guide just for you to help you know exactly what is the psychology behind each color, and also how to leverage the power of colors to increase your creativity. Also, do not forget to watch my other videos on here. They are going to help you a lot. And yeah, don't forget to give me a subscribe. So thank you so much for watching, and see you in the next videos.